The title for my sermonette today is Love in the Time of COVID-19. I'm not talking about romantic love, though that would be an interesting topic. I'm talking about the love that can set us free and sustain us in dark times. The kind of love that truly allows us to transcend our social programming, even our physical bodies, and time and space itself, so that we can participate in the eternal dance. The question that might be popping up in your mind is, where can I find that transcending love, Jim? The sustaining, transcending, individuating love that I need to navigate the darkness. The answer is simple, the doing is hard. To find the love that sustains and transcends, we begin by loving what we love. Loving what we love is like a thread that we can follow, that can over time expand our capacity to embrace life and love our fellow human beings and our planet. Loving what you love is unique to every individual. Darwin, for instance, loved beetles. Lincoln loved the law and life of the mind. In this congregation, Dennis Higdon is fascinated by stamps. Harvey Johnson loves the little ravine in his backyard. Candace Onwiller loves spiritual music. Nan Lundeen and Janice Surface love poetry. Clark Gilpin loves the beauty of language well used. And Lisa Fuller loves buff. We're not talking about some abstract, monumental love. We are talking about those things which you cannot keep your mind from which you cannot keep your mind, those things by which you are fascinated. This simple love is the love that, if nurtured, can draw us into a greater transcending love. The problem is that there is considerable impediment to following this thread of love. The foremost impediment lies within the mind itself. Most of the energy of the mind is taken up by running the algorithms of social programming. For instance, algorithms for how to act as a son or daughter, algorithms for how to comfort a child, algorithms about elevator etiquette, algorithms about behavior in church versus at a high school football game, algorithms about how to deal with an angry spouse, algorithms about financial responsibility, algorithms about even how to make eye contact, and on it goes. You get the idea. It takes a long time to program a socially well-functioning human being, 18 or 20 years or more, tens of thousands of hours of programming to install all those algorithms on our biological hardware. In contrast, the baby wildebeest can run with the herd a few hours after birth, already knowing everything it will need to know for its wildebeest life. All those algorithms, all the time running in the background of our minds, leave us little energy to love what we love and to follow that thread to transcendence. Right now, you might be thinking, well, how did this happen? How does pulling on the thread of what you love lead to individuation and transcendence? You know you're pulling on that thread when the creative imagination engages and there is a desire to actualize your imaginings. This is when the mind realizes that the desire to actualize the creative imagination is something far different than the mere running of the algorithms of our social programming. It is like a small flame in the wilderness. It is something that cannot be programmed. It is completely novel. It is a profound connection to the whole of the universe, calling you into a greater life. It is inviting you to give birth to yourself again and again and again. It is enticing you to make yourself anew. Interestingly and somewhat strangely, when we dare to follow the thread of loving what we love, the universe seems to give us a helping hand. It conspires with us to clear a pathway in the wilderness. When we follow the thread of loving what we love and the creative imagination is engaged, we learn to become artists of life. All those algorithms running in the backgrounds of our minds become like the brush and palette of the painter, the hammer and chisel of the sculptor, tools for creating artful lives instead of energy-draining impediments to the soul. The whole idea behind this religious institution is to facilitate the process of loving what we love. This is what we do. It is who we are. It is how we together face these dark times.